G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto 5 online money making method video. In today's video, I will be showing you how to make $2 million an hour as a solo player. So if you do enjoy the video, leaving a like and subscribing is greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's go. So by the end of today's video, the main purpose is to teach you how to complete this and how you can make $2 million an hour as a solo player. So to get things started, you will need to purchase a hangar. So what you'll need to do is go to the Maze Bank Foreclosures website, and you can see at the top of the map there are 3 that are in Fort Zancudo. If you purchase one up there, 1, they're going to be a little bit more expensive, but 2, they will grant you a free access, or basically a free token into the military base there at all times, so you won't get a wanted level. You will also see that there are 2 at the LSIA airport, and the one that is Hangar A17 is the cheaper option. If you're short of cash, I would just recommend going with this one here. All of the other upgrades, just don't go with that, and I would just go with the cheapest living quarters option. So total, it'll cost you just over $1 million, and you'll be all set and ready to go. So let's get into it. So now that you have purchased the hangar, let's go over how to run the operations. So you'll see this is your main office space area, and once you have sat in the chair there, you can access the computer. You'll see the overview here with a total stock of up to 50 different crates, and this is your source page. So this is one way you can go ahead and source different cargo, and you can bring it back to the hangar and make a pretty penny from it. When you do go to select a mission, I would go with the land option. That's going to be your best bet, and you can also use an oppressor. So obviously, if you're a beginner, it's not going to be your best bet, or you're not going to be using the oppressor for those missions, but that's just a quick heads up. It really is one of those active businesses you need to be on top of, but this method I'm going to show you right now means you won't have to actively run this business. So now that you have a hangar, let's go down to the bottom floor here. You'll see Rooster McCraw. He's got a clipboard in his hand, so I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide on what you need to do. First of all, we want to make sure, or you'll want to make sure, that your spawn location is set to your hangar. So go to your interaction menu, preferences, spawn location, and make sure it is at the hangar. Now you can walk up to Rooster, and because Lester gave me a phone call, you're not going to see the option in the top left hand corner, but I know it is right D-pad. So press right D-pad and pay the $25,000 fee to source some air freight cargo. Soon as Rooster hits that white line there, then you can go and close your application and restart GTA 5 or story mode. So you want to load into story mode, and once you're in there, you can go to the pause menu, online option, and go into an invite only lobby. So that's the great thing about this. You don't have to load it into a public session. You can just do this in the background in an invite only lobby. So now once you're into an online lobby, you can run outside of your hangar, and you'll see Rooster has sourced 2 crates. So they're going to be randomized. You can see this one here is narcotics, and we can rinse and repeat this process. So I'm going to go through this once again if you guys didn't catch that the first time, as well as some additional tips. Of course, you're going to need a little bit of money, and I say a little bit. If you want to fill this hangar up completely to all 50 crates, you will need $625,000 so that you can source crates. So if you're unfamiliar with how this is working or what I'm talking about, or usually Rooster will only source maybe 1 crate, and you'll pay $25,000 for that fee. However, this week in particular, for this week's weekly update in GTA Online, it's a guarantee that Rooster is going to source 2 randomized air freight cargo crates for your hangar business. And this is one of the best businesses in GTA 5 Online, especially for making money, and what you would have seen in the title, which is making $2 million an hour solo. I'm not over exaggerating that. I'm going to show you guys that with the final payout. Let's go over this once more, and I'm going to give you guys an additional pointer. So let's say, for example, you have gone ahead and tried this method, and you load into your game and you walk outside the hangar, and you notice, not in this next clip, these are just different cargoes that you'll get, but you walk outside here and you notice, hey, Rooster hasn't sourced us any crates. Well, let's go over just a simple fix you can do. So all you'll need to do is, once you go back into the hangar, bring up your interaction menu, head to appearance, and change your outfit. You'll see an orange loading symbol in the bottom right hand corner. That is just a game save, and from here you can go straight into doing this once again. So here we go. Let's press right D-pad and go and pay for that source air freight cargo fee of $25,000. When Rooster walks to that white line, go ahead and close your application and start GTA back up into story mode. Make sure you load back into story mode, and from here, go to your pause menu and load into an invite-only lobby. Now, once we get into our hangar, let's walk outside and see what Rooster has sourced for us. Now, considering I had 49 out of 50 crates already sourced, you will see that Rooster has only sourced one for us, and now we're ready to sell our hangar goods. Okay, so you're ready to go ahead and sell your cargo or your crates in your hangar business. Just go to your computer, head to the sell option or tab, and you'll see that sometimes there are some goods here that can make you an additional bonus. You can sell those separately. However, for the purpose of making the most amount of money, we're going to sell all, and make sure that you sell to the land, or sell on land, not air. This is going to be much easier and the best option for you. So from here, you'll see that this mission in particular is a little bit of a hassle. Usually you may get a sell mission that has a buggy, and that's going to be the one that you want to be getting. However, I did actually complete this with the container, but there were a few hurdles along the way. So there's a few things to keep in mind. One, I am selling this in a public lobby with more than 25 players. Reason being, like many other businesses in GTA 5 Online, you will get an additional bonus for selling in a public lobby. Surprisingly enough, I was a little worried about selling the hangar goods with this truck, and you can see in the gameplay here it got a little bit frustrating at points, especially knocking that off there. Whilst with the ghost organization activated, I used my up and atomizer, which I failed miserably, and unfortunately the trailer was actually parked at the top of the hill there in the opposite direction of what I wanted. So yeah, this made things a little bit more difficult, and honestly, I just made it much more difficult for myself than it really needed to be by knocking that trailer off at that particular point on the map. Eventually made a U-turn and got back on the road, and surprisingly enough, without Ghost Organization activated at that point, I managed to get to the end location unscathed. So just learn from my mistakes and just be a good driver. That's all I would suggest. But nah, seriously, if you do actually get some players on your tail and trying to blow up your cargo, I would just suggest closing your application as soon as that happens and hope for the best. Most of the time I have found that I don't lose my cargo. If I do, it's maybe a couple of crates, and again, you can use the method over and over again and make tons of money. So once this mission is complete, or you've dropped off the goods like this sell mission here, you'll see we need to leave the area, and we will get a payout, a substantial payout of $2.2 million. So we spent $625,000 to set this thing up, $2.2 million from the sell mission, so that's about a profit of $1.6 million. If you guys don't have enough, I would just do the Cluck and Bell farm raid to get set up, and you'll make your profits back in no time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does bring us to the end of today's money guide video in GTA 5 Online as a solo player. I really do hope this did help you guys out. If it did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new. Take care, and I will see you in my next video.